But they have a loyal group of followers who love their handmade instruments. Fox 17's Tim Doty has more on the men who started it all.
The tower still says Gibson, but the famed guitar maker played its last note in Kalamazoo back in the 80s before going to Nashville on a permanent tour, so to speak. The old plant in an old part of town remained, and so did a few employees who weren't excited about packing up and moving. So they stayed behind and went to work for themselves.
That's right.
Did people think you were crazy?
Yeah.
Most successful businessmen end up being thought of as crazy at some point, right?
Yeah. And it was a little bit crazy to start a guitar company.
And so Heritage Guitars were born back in 1985, and co-founders Marvin Lamb and Jim Derlew had something going for them: experience.
I came in 1958. I think he came in 1956.
Wow.
So, you know, and it was before he was old enough really to work.
But you can't stop rock and roll, and over the decades, the men tuned their skills making axes, even though those hands aren't very experienced at playing the instruments they've created.
I'm not a player. I can chord one a little bit, but I don't consider myself a guitar player.
And I did want to play when I was younger, but I was here all day. I went home, I couldn't pick it up. I just couldn't do it.
Like working at the rest of the fast food place.
That's right.
You work around the food all
That's
day.
right.
Last thing you want to do is eat it when you get home.
Yeah, you can't eat a hamburger.
So rather than moving their fingers across the fretboard, they and their staff of less than 20 made the fretboard.
We use ebony and rosewood, mother of pearl inlays.
And they made the neck and the body.
That's done on the slack belt sander. It's done by a lot of this is done on a disc sander like that, and caliper it to get the thickness.
So that's where the quality comes from.
That is
handcrafted.
That is, and it makes the guitar light, you know, and responsive.
You want it, they'll make it to order, not by plugging data into a computer, rather by using old-fashioned American know-how and nerve.
Teddy's been doing this for how many years, Teddy? 40-something?
Yep.
40-something years. So he takes that steel. Well, you got to have good wrist in order to do that. I don't think I could, you know, I can do it, but not very long, you know.
They're big with jazz and country performers these days, and it's all electric. Not going to go unplugged with a Heritage. But in this American success story, not every idea worked out. Old prototypes are everywhere at the plant. That's 1984, 85.
We made them. Jim made design one, and I designed one. And we called them a Terminator and an Exterminator. And we kind of would come up, you know, there was a lot of wild-looking guitars back in those days, so we kindly built one of each, and we sold a few of them, you know, but you know, the truth of it is, you stick with the old traditional type guitar, it becomes, you know.
It becomes a classic?
Yeah, right.
Well, I always say, well, heritage is more than our name, it's what we are.
Peter's over